we're live. Hello and welcome to another session of CP 2049, a solid state society. With us tonight we have Ghost, Ghoulface, and Rogue. Ghost is back playing his character Trauma, while Rogue will be playing his character Machine. Tonight's session will pick up for these characters a few days after the stolen shipment was dropped off at the Icarus docks, and where Kumiko took possession of it. That aspect of the game where Kumiko took possession of it has already been played out, and it's already in a different session. The folks who are watching are welcome to watch that. But as far as Trauma and Rogue are concerned, they dropped the shipment and went their own ways, waiting for payment for services rendered. And tonight's session will pick up a few days after the shipment was dropped off, and we shall start in Trauma's apartment. Trauma, you are in your apartment. We just got back from a long day's work at Icarus General, and you've not had much time to, check in on your daughter. The ship assault took a few days off work, and you had a bunch of stuff to get through during your day job to kind of make everything balanced and look like you were delivering all your deliverables in your day job on time. You're back home and you just about took your shoes off. You're sitting on the couch, thinking about opening that beer, and that's when you hear a soft knock on the door.
Yeah, Trauma would get up and kind of tensed up, not really expecting company. I'm going to refresh my page real quick. Hold on. Issues with the song.
Sure.
But Trauma would get up and pull on the door. Shotgun near the door, or weapon near the door, ready to go, kind of pointed at it.
You open the door, and standing right outside your door is a young girl of Asian descent. She bows respectfully towards you and says, "My name's Miho. I have been sent here by Kumiko."
Trauma peeks his head out and looks left and right down the hall, and then lowers his gun. What for?
"I've been asked to deliver this letter to you. Certain events have occurred since the departure of Yang. Miss Kumiko has taken certain precautions. The letter explains all of it." And she kind of holds out this, kind of like a scroll that has been neatly tied in a red ribbon.
I look at it and then reach my hand through, take it. Anything else?
She shakes her head, bows, does a 180 and walks off.
Trauma closes the door and then puts the locks back into place. Puts the shotgun next to the door. Pulls up a chair and unrolls the letter.
It reads, "Trauma. Funds for services have been transferred. Find included contract rates, plus bonus to spend as you see fit. May be split between the contractors or given to family of S at your discretion." Despite unexpected complications, I remain altogether pleased with the performance of duty. True competence is rare. A bonus specific to you will be arriving in 2 days. See flight information below. Do as you see fit with this opportunity. Consultation fee has been taken care of, but it is entirely your purview. I should also mention that there have been some changes at the hospital. When next you visit, bypass the special care unit and take the elevator to the 10th floor, private care ward, room 1054. Hospital records will show name Lucy Graham, but your ID will be accepted as legal guardian. If additional changes are required, feel free to make them known to me. I do have another task for you, fairly simple and straightforward in comparison to the previous. My lieutenant could use some reliable backup. Delivery of goods resulted in some chatty bystanders. Kuroda has all images and information you will need. Please see his contact information below and be in touch as soon as possible. Should you need to reach me urgently, I have moved my base of operations to the address below. I trust that you will be discreet with that information as it is not common knowledge. No sensitive information is to be relayed to me electronically. Miho is a trusted messenger, or you may visit me as you wish. This and all of the messages should be destroyed upon receipt. Best regards, K. And at the bottom in postscript, there's information about a certain doctor that is going to arrive into Icarus in 2 days' time. There's also information about Kumiko's new location and the contact details of a Lieutenant Kuroda.
Yeah, so Trauma would mark down the important bits or put it in his phone either way, and he wouldn't label it or anything. He would see it and remember what it's for. He would put in the contact information for this Kuroda, and then he'd also notate information for the new address in order to reach Kumiko. And then once he's got everything he feels he needs, he will burn the letter, a controlled burn. Make sure he stamps it out in either in his garbage or whatever. Open a window so that the alarms don't go off. And after that, he will make sure the funds get divvied out as they need to, splitting the remainder of what it is, providing his lost comrades' share to Sarge. So Baud's share would go to Sarge, because since they seem to know each other pretty well, and like father and son, figured Sarge would know what best to do with it. Once that's all taken care of, he'll use the contact information for this Kuroda, get into contact with them.
So are you sending him a text message? Are you calling Kuroda?
Gonna call.
Okay. So you call Kuroda, the line trills for a bit, and eventually after a couple of rings, there's a pickup on the other end. Yes.
Our boss says you have a problem.
You're the specialist then. We do. I'm in the Haven district. I have eyes on the query, but there are complications.
I check my watch, and how far is the Haven district?
Should be about 30 minutes of car ride from here.
He looks at it, and I'll be there in 20. I'll be speeding.
Bring backup if you can. Things are a little messy here.
Understood. And then Trauma will disconnect, and
And as soon as you disconnect, there is, you kind of like, it's one of those like movie scenes where you disconnect and your phone kind of lights up again, and you see there is a number, a very familiar number, a very familiar face attached to that number, and a line is trilling. It's none other than Machine.
Yeah, Trauma would answer.
Okay. Go ahead, Machine.
What's going on, brother?
About to go to a job. What do you want?
I was calling about that money and seeing if you had gotten any of it yet or any word about it.
Hold on. He would go through his account real quick and send Machine and Yin's shares.
Machine, you would see your phone chime up as soon as the funds were transferred into your bank accounts.
Machine smiles a little bit, just a little bit, little knowing that's not really the entire reason he called, and he pauses for a minute as he sees the money on the account appear, and well, I also wanted to talk to you for a little bit. I mean, if that's possible, if you got time, or maybe we could hit the strip club or something.
You can help me do this job if you want.
Oh yeah, you got a job?
Yeah, light shit. Probably not gonna be anything too difficult.
Oh yeah, I'm down for that.
I'll pick you up.
Excellent.
And then Trauma would disconnect, get his gear, and drive over to where Machine's at.
All right. Trauma, you get in your car and you head out to Machine's place. And Machine's place, given Machine's nighttime activities, it's not very far from the Haven district. So it's kind of on the way with slight detour. So you're able to link up with him and pick him up, and eventually you guys are kind of head back towards the Haven district, and another 10 minutes worth of ride before you're there.
Before he gets there, like pretty much right after he gets off the phone, Machine's gonna go over and pick up the letter that Yin had wrote to him, and he stares at it for a little while. Specifically, 3 words that she wrote on there, which was "I love you," and he's deep in thought about this. While he's pretty much the entire time while he's waiting for his boy to get there.
And Trauma eventually, at that point, pulls down at the bottom, on the road at the at the base of your apartment, and your phone rings. You make it down, get in the car, and you guys drive off. In about 10 minutes or so, you guys are in the Haven district. You guys get there, find a place to park, somewhere that is, where you guys won't draw attention to yourself. Do you reach out to Kuroda at this point, Trauma? Or do you go to a strip club to talk, or what is the plan?
No, job first, pleasure later. So Trauma would park and then pull up his phone and call Kuroda again.
Okay. Immediately Kuroda picks up. Are you at the location?
On site with assistance.
Excellent. Sending you GPS coordinates. It's an alley. We can meet. I can brief you on the situation away from prying eyes, and then we can follow your suggestions.
Understood.
He puts the phone down, and a couple of seconds later, you get a message with like a pin drop on it. And when you click on it, it opens your navigation software and shows that it's about a 5-minute walk through the alleyways finally into a back alley that is off the main strip that is Haven.
And Trauma will look at machines. Let's go.
Machine nods back to his same old self. Totally straight-faced.
You guys start walking, and eventually you find the alley. And when you get to the alley, you see three members, three people just sitting what looks like an old rundown bar, like a street bar. Trauma, you would recognize from the attire and facial tattoos that these were the same men that were keeping an eye on you at the Untitled, the night that Nero kind of disappeared on you guys. At that time, you didn't know that they were working for that you didn't know they were working for Yang and Kumiko. But now, kind of that jigsaw puzzle falls in place, and now you know that that's who were kind of keeping an eye on you that night.
So Trauma looks at them all and just lights up a cigarette. What's going on?
What looks like the leader of the gang kind of steps forward. You, the specialist, Madam Kumiko sent for our aid. He kind of looks you up and down and looks at Machine.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, the name is Kuroda, and he gives you a bow. Those men back there are my associates. We're members of the Dragon Clan, and we serve at Madam Kumiko's pleasure. And you are, and he kind of nods towards both of you.
Trauma. Puffs a cigarette. Looks at Machine.
Machine? Rogue?
Did we lose the man?
I think we lost the man.
Oh no. I'll put a quick pause in it.
Yeah, I'll pause it as well. And Kuroda, we're back, and Kuroda looks towards Machine and kind of gives a quizzical look, waiting for Machine's response.
Machine will nod to him, just pretty straight-faced and stern-looking, trying to keep his intimidating stature there. And he'll say, Machine, good to meet you.
Likewise, excellent. So, this is the situation we have, gentlemen. If you'll be so kind as to follow me through these alleyways, I would like to show you something.
Lead the way.
All right. So,
Machine follows behind Trauma, watching any of the shadows, any of the corners, any windows.
nice. He takes you through a couple of through a side alley, and then you find yourself on the main strip that is the Haven district, and he says, a few days ago a shipment was delivered to the South Docks. During that time, a particular member of a gang that controls the dock, goes by the name Mickey, was the one handling the shipment. He and his long horsemen helped load the shipment onto a truck, gave us access to a warehouse. He doesn't know which warehouse, that was part of the deal. And we made our way, but there was something about him that Madam Kumiko noticed. Something about the way he looked at our container, looked at us. she feels that this Mr. Mickey is going to betray her, and her suspicions were found to be true. We have been observing this Mickey. We have been monitoring calls coming in and out of his apartment, and when he says that, he uh, kind of, do you see the pings?
Yep.
Yeah, kind of through this purple, that what looks like a crystal through that door. We've been monitoring calls through that apartment, and he has definitely made contact. Unfortunately, one of those contacts happens to be Corpo's, especially the Watanabe Corp. It seems he might have seen the markings on the container. How do you guys react when he says that?
I shake my head. And then I look at him and... So, what are we going to do about him? And then what are we doing about the shipment?
Luckily, the shipment is not yet compromised. And kind of nods himself. Madam Kumiko was able to get a deal where only she knows and I know which warehouse in the southern docks actually has the shipment. There are a lot of warehouses there. It would take someone a long time to find it if they brute forced it. Mickey himself doesn't know where the shipment is in the warehouse, but he does know that the shipment belongs to Watanabe. It seems he's in discussions with them. He's not let them know a lot. He seems like a greedy man based on what I've seen of the communications he's been sending. But Watanabe is, well, they're careful, and he kind of points, like, you guys are in the shadows, and he kind of points two index fingers, towards the top, and he points in this direction. Look there closely. Machine and Trauma, give me a notice plus wisdom roll. Machine?
Oh no, not again.
Okay. So Trauma, you see it first. Machine, you don't quite see what Kuroda is pointing to, and Trauma, you see two well-armored men with what look like submachine guns. You can kind of make out. You can't see what type of submachine gun, but you've been around weapons enough, and you can see from distance that based on the way the silhouette of the gun is within their combat armor, it's most likely a submachine gun. There are two men standing up there, and they have their eyes trained on that entrance.
Trauma sees it. Any other ways in?
Kuroda nods. There's an alleyway behind the building, and he kind of points in the direction like that, from in that direction. There's an alleyway behind the building. There are what looks like a fire stairwell that leads all the way up to the roof. On the roof there is an access that goes down. Mickey lives on the 5th floor. The apartment number is 02.
That's our best bet. What's the deal? Go in, take out target. That's that.
Yes, Now, if you could take out the target without letting those people know, that would be the best. But if you cannot, it has to be a quick job. We can provide some support, but if we are open, it could lead back to Madam Kumiko.
And he kind of looks. And they know I've been working for her, but I'm still a merc. If they see you guys, they'll know what's up. You guys hang back.
Affirmative. We'll keep an eye on the streets, an eye on those two, and we'll send you updates if anything changes out here.
She nods over to Trauma. Let's do this.
Right. And then Trauma will go ahead and try to make his way across the street without being seen. Maybe double back around
Before
just to get into where the fire
you
exit.
guys head out from Kuroda, he says, the one thing I can offer you is silenced weapons if you would like to use it.
What do
Be
you
aware
got?
you cannot be caught with it. If you do, that's the end of it.
What do you got?
And he kind of from his back, he pulls out 2 silent submachine guns. You look at the silencer, both of you, if you take it in your hand, you look at it. These are street silencers. They're not as silent as the ones you used on the assault. Those are proper military-based, military spec silencers. These look more like kind of cans attached with, when you look at them closely, they seem to have some silencing material. But they're not the best of silencers. They're just like street silencers.
And Trauma looks at it. Sure. Take it and hand the other one to Dean.
Yeah, Dean will take it. He kind of just smiles at it, looks over at Trauma.
Trauma
Thanks.
kind of smirks, nods.
Keep in mind, I wouldn't use the burst action on these weapons. The silencer tends to get pretty hot. It might just burst in your hands, so be careful.
Trauma nods and then, alright, let's go. He puts it under his coat and kind of makes sure he walks around and doubles back so he can get around.
All right.
Try to remain unseen by the enforcers.
Okay. Yeah, at this distance, they are focused on that doorway to make sure that their prey or target doesn't leave the vicinity. They're not really paying attention down the road, and we're kind of further away. You guys are able to stay in the shadows, make your way around, and eventually you turn around and get to the alley. I want you guys to give me a notice plus wisdom roll again as you start walking up in the shadows of that alley towards the back of the building, back of that apartment complex that you need to scale, which would be here. All right. Machine, you observe first that as you guys are walking up, that there is a Watanabe enforcer there as well, kind of keeping an eye out in that alley. And then as you notice him and you kind of take a moment to see, you see one more kind of they're kind of standing like in the shadows and they're kind of covering each other's backs, but you see there are now 2 enforcers also covering that exit.
And Machine would, as they're walking together, probably pretending to just be locals in the street or something. Machine will look over towards Trauma to make sure he notices those two as well. He'll put up his two fingers and look in that direction.
Trauma looks and nods, and then he looks at Machine. Try to walk by, cap him when we get close.
Yeah, definitely. I got a sharp object for one. He's gonna tap the hilt of his knife.
Alright, just play it cool.
Alright, so you guys are going to try and walk by them as if you belong here. You're just like some street bums walking through the alley, correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So I want you guys to give me, both of you to give me a performance plus charisma.
Rollo.
Hello.
He's absolutely gonna beat you with +4.
Yeah.
Yep. So as you guys are walking down the street, Machine, oh, what do you think would happen? What happened that you gave yourself away as part of your performance to look like you're like a street bum and someone that shouldn't be paid too much attention to? You end up doing something that gives your true intent away. What is that?
He was gonna go up and ask for a cigarette. So I imagine he starts to walk closer towards them and be like, "Hey, buddy, you got a light, man? You got a light?" And he starts to kind of add his limp a little too late as he's starting to make his way towards them. When he wasn't limping when he walked down the street, you know what I mean?
And that catches their eye first, and then they that ends up giving them a cause of concern, and they look at you, and then they stare at you, and then they from as you're walking and you're limping, you're not doing it so well that they can see the butt of your combat rifle slung around your back, and when they see that, they kind of scan the horizon and see Trauma kind of walking, flanking you, and stay where you are. You do not want to come down this alley, gentlemen. Turn around now.
Machine will stop and kind of put his hands up. Okay, we're cool. It's all good, man. And then he'll look over towards Trauma.
Yeah, Trauma ain't doing that. The moment that he realizes Machine's fucked it, he just brings his gun out and is gonna try to pop the closest one.
Alright, so let's go into initiative. Here we go.
Oh, good.
Alright.
The rolls are with us tonight.
Time to do work, Dean.
Yes, indeed.
Alright, so as Machine says, be cool, and he looks to Trauma, and Trauma is unslinging his weapon. The Watanabe enforcer, he's a trained, hired killer. He's just as professional as you guys. He sees what's up, and he's like, fuck, they're here for him, and they kind of backpedal and go into like a combat stance, and this guy, who's this guy? This guy shoots off. Let's see. Where
And they were able to stop us in time for we wouldn't be able to close the distance by no means, would we?
No, not with the roles you guys had.
Okay.
And the
Yeah,
first
makes
guy
sense.
opens a burst to try and get you guys to, not proceed any further and duck if possible. Which, he's basically just spraying the air. He's kind of making you guys duck, and, the shots go over your head and nowhere close to you guys. Machine, you're up.
Machine would maybe fall back behind the dumpster, and kind of take his submachine gun, the silenced one. Well, I guess that wasn't silenced at all, was it?
No, his weapon is not silenced. The shots are firing.
Okay. I'll go ahead and do combat rifle.
Awesome.
Whip it off and fire at him.
Nice. So which guy are you shooting? The guy who shot at you?
Yeah, the one that sprayed.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, you basically get a, your shot is accurate, and you're able to hit him on his chest as he kind of backpedals and kind of falls back as he takes those shots. But you can see most of it is soaked by the armor that he's wearing, but you can definitely see that some of the shots got through, and he's kind of shaken up, and he kind of takes a bit of a cover.
Machine will shout over to Trauma. We were never ones for being quiet, were we?
And as Machine is shouting at Trauma, about being quiet, the second Watanabe enforcer shoots a burst, kind of the over the boxes that he's hiding behind, and shoots a burst at you guys, which also completely misses. It's now Trauma's turn.
Yeah, and Trauma would look at Machine and say, "No, I guess not." And seeing as it's fucked, he gets his shotgun out and is just going to kind of slow advance towards them, trying to shoot at the one that Machine already winged.
All right, go for it. So as you're walking up, RP wise, they kind of duck behind some boxes, and the shotgun blast hits the top of the box, but it misses the enforcer that's hiding behind the boxes. As soon as your shot comes through and goes over his head, he pops up and tries to take a shot at you again.
That would hit.
Machine, you're up.
Machine's gonna try to shoot that guy. That's the same one that we wounded that shot Trauma.
Yep, exactly. It's the same guy you wounded.
Okay, I'm gonna try to finish him off if I can, hopefully.
Okay. Remember, your combat
Combat
machine
rifle.
has a burst as well.
Don't forget your reroll. Your
Can
free-
can I go ahead and do that? Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
about
yeah.
to do that there.
Yep.
Is that a free hit or
I believe, yes, you can make that a success.
Yep.
yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, awesome. So you shoot, and as you're shooting your burst, you can see that you not anticipated the recoil of your own weapon, and the second and third shot you kind of hold the combat rifle tighter, and the second and third shot find purchase, and the guy gets pushed back. He's now severely bleeding, but he's a corp enforcer, so you can see him is like kind of, he's on the ground a bit, and he's kind of standing up now, but he's barely standing up. second enforcer sees, his partner has been shot, and he doesn't take an action to shoot you, but you can see him reach for his earpiece, and he seems to be talking into it. Trauma.
Yeah, seeing that, I'm gonna go ahead and unload at him.
Okay. Nice. So how does that look as you shotgun burst this guy, and he's blown back against the wall, but you can see that there is still life in him. These guys are tough.
Yeah, so I aim for his arm, going up for the earpiece, and blast it, shoot him a couple different times, push him up against the wall, and then seeing him still moving, kind of grimace at the corporal armor.
This guy, seeing that his partner has been hit, and he's also pretty much close to death's door, he kind of pops off the ground and starts running away, kind of around the alley back onto the main strip. Machine, you're up.
Machine takes off after him. If I'm not able to close the distance on him, he would rip off some rounds from his combat rifle at him. Another burst.
Yep, go for that, because you would be able to catch up with him, but at that point you would be both on the main strip, which would mean you would be open to the other guys or waiting there. And so go ahead and take a shot and see if you're able to bring him down before he kind of rounds the corner.
Damn.
Yeah. So as you're kind of running after him, and you're kind of jogging, your weapon is also kind of going up and down, and you've not compensated for that, and the shots go wide as he kind of rounds out the corner. Do you continue to run, or do you kind of hit the brakes as you come up against this other enforcer?
I will hit the brakes.
Cool. So you're kind of now almost abreast to the other enforcer that Trauma just kind of, carved up, and he sees, his partner run off, and seeing you coming after his partner and shooting, he's trying to make a last-ditch stand against you, and he kind of turns his weapon at you and shoots, giving his partner time to run away, which misses, and that brings up Trauma.
Trauma's just gonna go to finish him.
Okay. Ooh. And you shoot him, and the weapons, the bullets all kind of ping off his armor. You can see his armor is completely crumpled in at this point from the shotgun and the combat rifle. This guy is off the table. Machine, you're up, and you can see that Trauma shots were on target, but the armor soaked it all up, and now it looks like this enforcer is going to just get up and start running back onto the main strip.
Can I close in on him with the combat knife?
Oh yeah, you definitely can.
Maybe go for his neck or something, and
Yep. And as you come at him with your combat knife, he can see you coming, and with his last bit of strength, he kind of knocks that knife as it's coming down on his chest. He kind of knocks it away, not out of your hand, but just knocks that blow away with his right shoulder. At which point, he is trying to push you off and run away. So let me do this. Give me an exert plus strength, Machine. Nice. So he tries to push you away, so that he can kind of disengage with you and run, and he's unable to at that point. Trauma, you see, Machine has this guy tangled up and in a knife fight. You can shoot, but with a shotgun, it's going to be a -2 to modifier because Machine is in the way, kind of fighting with this guy.
Trauma will just look at Machine, wrap it up, and then he'll start going into the apartment complex as he's reloading.
Okay. Machine.
And Machine, yeah, will try to follow through with the knife again. Hopefully, hopefully finish this guy off.
Nice.
There we go.
How does that look as you bring this guy down?
Says the guy's struggling. He's kind of wrapped around him, holding the knife off. Machine brings his other butt of the gun down of his combat rifle and slams it into the guy's arm just to knock it away so he can take the knife up into his up underneath his chin and up into his skull.
Nice. Machine and Trauma is already into the building. At this point, I'm assuming you guys are not going to take the whole stairwell up and come down from the roof. You're just going to run up the stairs from the inside the building. Correct?
Yeah, Machine will come to Trauma, or if he's close enough still, he'll be like, yeah, that one's on foot. We ain't got much time left.
No, let's be quick.
Alright. So you guys start, instead of taking the stairwell up, which was the original plan, and kind of drop down through the roof and stealth down, you guys now start running from within the building up the stairs towards the 5th floor. While you guys are running up, Trauma, you hear Kuroda coming through the comm saying, looks like the jig is up. The corpos are coming down. They're headed towards Mickey. You don't have much time.
We'll get it done.
All right. And you guys run through, and eventually, as you're coming through, you see that there's one corpo already at the door, and it looks clearly that you're on the 5th floor, apartment number 2, and there's a corpo already there. He's kind of getting ready to basically shoot and kick that door down when you guys come running around the corner. Roll me a 2d6. Actually, don't. Both of you go ahead, and what are you going to do at this point? Attack or kind of grapple him down, or?
Yeah, look at Machine, take him. I'll go in.
Machine just nods to him, and he's gonna try to come up behind him with the knife.
Okay, go ahead. Give me a sneak plus dex. Yep. Go ahead and make it attack with the knife. So, as you bring your knife down, he clearly seems to be intent on shooting the door down, and he has his leg up. Your knife does find purchase, but you quickly realize that these are just no ordinary street brawlers. These are corpos. They have extremely good armor. Your knife does dig in. You can see that it's kind of found a small wedge in the plating, and you're able to stick it in. But you've not done nearly enough damage to this guy as he turns around and brings a submachine gun to bear on you. What the fuck? And he's gonna go with the burst. So burst is +2, -2 modifier because you're in melee. Submachine is a single-handed weapon. And given that you all are in melee combat, he basically kind of shoots wildly all over the place as he's trying to kind of get you and shoot at you. Trauma, what are you doing?
Let's see. They're tangled up again.
Mm-hmm.
So these windows, are they still glass, or are they some fancy future tech shit?
These windows, they're mainly glass, but the window you're looking at, that's going to look out into the street, right? Like the side street. The apartment you guys are trying to get into is this door here, which this corpo was trying to kind of, kick in and then go in.
Could a man be perhaps thrown through this window?
Oh, easily, yes.
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah, Trauma will go to grapple with this guy machine window.
All right.
And go to grapple with him and try to tie him up, and hopefully Dean gets the message.
Nice. So give me an exert plus strength trauma. Machine, you can see trauma is intent, so give me an exert plus strength as well. Yep. So while the guy is able to fend machine off, trauma, you're just too strong for him, and you're able to kind of come up from behind him, and you're able to grapple him.
Yeah, so I would put him into. I'd put him in the full Nelson, and just Sheen, get his legs, and then just start trying to drag him over to the window and just send him out.
All right. Machine, give me one more exert plus strength with a +1 modifier because trauma hasn't grappled. Nice. There's no just in case. Let's see if he does it. Nope. So how does this look as machine has him grappled? Trauma, you have him in a full Nelson, and this guy is just wriggling like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so Trauma holds him in the Nelson as Machine gets his legs, I'm thinking, and then go ahead, Machine. I mean, we'll walk him over together, and you tell us how it looks when he's thrown out.
Stop trying to kick me. Grabs his legs and let's see if this guy can fly.
Let's. And then we allow him to exit rapidly in a spectacular fashion and reach his destination at the bottom floor.
And you hear a crash of glass, and you throw him out, and you hear, ah, splat.
Machine looks over at Trauma. He couldn't fly.
Most can. He smirks, and then let's get this shit done. And then Trauma will turn with his shotgun and blast the door handle and go to kick it.
And Machine gets his combat rifle ready.
All right. And you guys, blast the door, kick the door in. Machine comes with his combat rifle, and both of you storm in, right, pure Spec Ops style, breach the room, and you see Mickey standing there. I want both of you at this point, as you burst through the room, give me a notice plus wisdom.
Jeez.
All right. So this is what's going to happen. As you guys burst through the room, you see that Mickey is kind of cowering behind the bed in the corner, and he's kind of like whimpering to himself. Machine, you run through the room, and you're the first one to go in. You're just this, big juggernaut of mass that just walks through the room. But you don't see it. Trauma sees it first, and Trauma, you see there's this kind of a red dot that is, it's first on the wall, then it's on the floor, and then you see it on Machine's like shoulder, and it's kind of like moving around, and it's like you can see that it's stabilizing, and it is on Machine.
Trauma responds to sniper, and then just try to fucking get down, hoping Machine does the same thing.
All right, so here's what's gonna happen. So that guy shoots, and Machine, you hear Trauma say sniper, and you kind of whip around to see him. You instinctively duck, and as you do, the glass shatters, pretty big. From your experience, you can think this is mostly like a 50 cal or something, and the back of the wall just explodes into dust. And now you can see that there's this red dot. Machine, you see it too. There's this red dot that's scanning the room, looking for. What do you guys do?
I mean, we know what Mickey looks like, right?
Yep, he's kind of hiding behind that, and when the sniper goes off, you can see that he is, kind of further hiding behind in that corner. He's got no place to go.
I mean, we're not here for the sniper,
right?
So, I mean, I would just see Mickey, and if I've got a decent shot, I would just take it.
All right, go ahead. Give me. Let's do it this way, because there's a sniper that's kind of trying to scope into the room. Give me a physical evasion, and then take a shot at Mickey. All right. So go ahead with your shot at Mickey. Nice. So while that happens, this happens. Oh, this is beautiful. So as you pop up and you see Mickey kind of cowering in the corner, like a cornered little rat, you kind of bring the shotgun around, and what do you do at that point?
I mean, I just blast him if he's there, and I think I got the shot. I just take it.
Yep.
Shoot him several times.
Yep. So as you burst him, and Mickey's just kind of splattered on the wall. As you pop up to do that, you don't pop up well enough, giving the sniper enough of your torso to shoot at. And a second round comes through the window. At this point, the window is just destroyed, and the second round comes and hits you square in the chest. You, from the impact, you definitely know this is a 50 cal.
Trauma eases. Fuck, and then we'll go back down real quick. And Mickey's dead. All right. I mean,
Mickey's dead. Mickey's gone.
It's like. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
And as you say that,
Machine will take off. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
As you say that, Kuroda is on the comms. You guys need to get the fuck out of there. There is more coppers inbound, and this looks like Takeda.
Fuck's sake. And then I'm trying to look at Machine, and he'll go back over the comms. What looks like the best way out?
Through the roof. You need to get to the roof. We can see two vehicles coming in. They split off. One's coming down the strip. One seems to have turned around the alley and is coming down the alley. And just to give you guys a visual, let me do this. Give me a moment. So um, as this is happening, just so guys you have like a visual of what's happening. One vehicle with two Takeda enforcers is kind of just coming around the corner, coming through the back, and is kind of screeching towards that building. On the main strip, on the main strip, one more vehicle comes, and you see, more Takeda enforcers, and as Kuroda says that to get to the roof, you now start hearing gunfire from all around the streets.
Machine is gonna run and towards the door, but at the same time try to throw his hand out, his free hand, to grab Trauma's hand and kind of pull him up to his feet as he's running towards the door.
Yeah, I'll take it. Momentum.
Nice. So you guys get out of the door and start making it to the roof. Eventually you get there, but as you do, Trauma and Machine, give me an exert plus strength. With trauma kind of bleeding profusely, you guys are not able to get up there as quickly as you can. Machine is doing his best to kind of give Trauma momentum, and what happens is you guys are still running up the stairs when you hear the door all the way at the bottom on the ground floor kind of burst open, and you see two hooded figures, and you can only surmise that these are more corpos that are now coming up the stairwell, and they see you running up. They look up at you and they see you, and you see them, and there is like clear some sort of recognition, and they start running up the stairs, but you have a head start on them, so you're able to get to the roof first. What do you do at this point?
Yeah, running. I guess trying to run up and what the fuck now, Kuroda? Where am I going?
On the roof. Okay, I need you to run straight down the strip along the roof, and when you get to the end of it, I hope you guys are wearing belts, because there is a cable that's connected to the tower that's going down towards the building across. You would have to use your hands or your belt.
Let's do it. And he would get off the compad and shoulder his weapon, and then start getting his fucking belt off.
Okay. Alright. So you guys run up to that tower and you guys get your belt off, and as you do, corpos, man. Corpos. They do catch up. And you can, from behind you can hear the roof door burst open as two corpos pop out. What do you guys do? Do you engage, jump on the cable?
I'll let Trauma go first, and
Okay.
try to throw down some submission fire or something.
All right,
Suppression.
perfect. Do that.
Yeah, trauma's fucking off. He would. They're done as far as he's concerned. This is just issues. These are things.
All right, go ahead, Machine. Give suppressing fire.
Suppression fire. What did I say? Submission fire?
No,
I'm gonna fire you into submission.
Submit.
Submit to me. Nice, very nice. So you are able to lay down suppression fire, but what you see is as you do, it's like a sport player. You're in the game. You're all warmed up, There are no more mistakes coming from the machine, and you're able to catch one of the enforcers on his right shoulder. You kind of knock him back. So, machine, are you going to now jump and try and rappel down?
Yes, sir. I will
Okay.
take off as quick as possible.
Go for it. As you do, there is submachine gunfire coming down at you.
And which skill is this? I'm sorry.
This no skill. You guys are there. It's just a matter of just throwing that up and going down.
Oh, okay.
Oh, actually, sorry, my bad. Exert plus strength for both of you. You're rappelling down.
Oh no.
Oh, thankfully.
Nice,
I've been
nice.
rolling so bad.
Awesome. So, machine, you're able to, like, you see Trauma jump up and put his belt on and start rappelling down, and you see him kind of wobble a bit, but eventually when he gets down to the building that's kind of lower down, he's able to just drop and tuck and roll and get to his feet. You have laid down suppression fire. You then jump up, perfect, like as if this is back in spec op training, back at the farm. You're able to pull your belt up, jump and go down, and as you're going down, you can hear machine gun fire just being shot at you. But with a perfect roll like that, it's just like, that if you had cleared that building a second later, that would have hit your back, and the bullet fire just goes above you as you go rappelling down.
Nice. And Machine, as he's sliding down towards the rooftop, he lets out a hoot and a laugh, and then jumps off. But immediately, checking Trauma out, he gets a little more serious as he remembers that Trauma took a hit. He's trying to assess the damage there, if it's really bad.
You guys see that as you get to the ground, when you get to the ground, you see Trauma is standing, but he's definitely huddled over. You can also kind of hear footsteps running towards that location. There's not enough time to fully check him out. You need to get off that roof down to the street and disappear.
Yeah, Trauma's just hustling as hard as he can, coughing a bit every now and then. He's not paying any mind to anything else. It's just time to go.
Yeah, he'll help Trauma if he can. Throw his arm over their shoulder, hustle.
All right. You guys find one more door on that roof, and you run down. As you run down, Kuroda's like, when you get down to the street level, make a right, run 2 blocks down, then make a left, and keep going. There'll be a car waiting for you to take you wherever you want. That was noisy, gentlemen, but I think the deed is done.
Indeed it was. And then he get off comms and start proceeding towards the exfil. Get the hell out of there.
Okay. You guys are able to get to the exfil location. There is a car waiting there. There's a dragon member in the driver's seat. He just jumps out. He kind of gives you like a salute. You guys jump into the car and drive off. Trauma, you would know that about 30 minutes away there is a clinic that you have used before. You can go there to patch yourself up if you want.
Yeah, I would do that and cough and spit a bit as I'm driving. And we're gonna make a quick pit stop, and then we'll go for leisure time.
All right. So you guys, you drive through traffic pretty aggressively, but not aggressive enough to draw any attention. And eventually you get to the clinic. This clinic, you have used it before. You take the time to patch yourself up. machine is standing guard over there, making sure that um, you know no one's following you, or no one knows where you are. Um, go ahead, make your heal rolls.
Any way I can help you out? He would ask him. Any way I can help patch you up?
You don't know what you're doing. And is this your heal or is it wisdom?
I would say go with I think in your case it's int. If I'm
They're both the same.
same,
but
yeah.
it's-
So yeah, nice.
Usually you just rub some dirt on that, right? You're all good.
You gotta spit on it first.
Yep. You're able to basically you kind of like work on yourself. It's difficult, but it takes you some time, about an hour's worth of work. You're able to remove all the shrapnel, especially from that the sniper bullet. There is this, the medical gel that kind of you put in, it foams up and basically stops all the bleeding and cauterizes the wound. Luckily, there is no major internal organ damage, but it's not your best work because you're working on yourself. You're able to partially regain some health. You would definitely need some rest and recuperation.
Where would you say I'm at right now, mechanically?
Mechanically, I would say you are at 20.
So trauma patches himself up, and it's still soreness, stiffness where he got hit, but he kind of shakes it out and gets up and all right. Thanks for the help.
Yeah, man, no problem. I guess we're not going to the strip club then.
No, we can. It's not a problem. Just need to change these clothes. And he'll root around in the back of the clinic looking for a spare pair of whatever.
Yeah, there is there's a cupboard at the back where there's like all sorts of clothes that were left behind and people who left in a hurry. You kind of rummage through them and you find a t-shirt and some jeans that roughly fit you. They're not the best fit, but they're okay in a pinch.
Yeah, so he changed real quick just because I'm sure I've got blood on these.
Oh yeah.
And Trauma would just leave the. Actually, no, he wouldn't leave the bloody clothes. He'd put that in a plastic bag and take it with him. Stuff it in his trunk. Stuff it in the trunk of the car. All right, we can head out.
After Trauma said that they were still gonna go, Dean would have this big smile on his face, like little kid just got told he's still going to Disney World. And he's like, yeah, well, I did want to talk to you about a few things. Some serious things, though.
Sure, we'll talk about it.
You guys leave the clinic. Haven is out of the question right now. So you kind of head towards sector, on the border of Sector 6 and Sector 6, Sector 9 and Stack. So it's kind of like a place where all the three meet, and it is reputable, not the best place, but there is a strip club there that you guys go to. Machine knows this place, and eventually you guys get in, sitting at a table. Go ahead.
Well, when Machine walks in, you're looking around for a table or whatever, and he's going to immediately transfer Yen's funds to her as they're checking for a table to sit at.
All right.
Looks like that one table is open that they had the argument at. He'll go slide into that one if he can.
That table is open. It's kind of prime real estate. You can see all the strippers gyrating up on the main floor there. No one seems to be sitting at this point there, so you guys can easily slide in.
So Machine says, I've been feeling pretty bad about Bod and everything. I realized it was my fault. The whole thing, the whole screw up. I paused and I waited when I should have rushed in, but Yen was in trouble, you know. Kind of looks at Trauma for some kind of words to tell him he's wrong. You can tell it in his face, you know, but...
Yeah, and Trauma looks at him, and as soon as his beer comes back, he tips the waitress and looks back at Machine. You had a hand in it, but the reason he's dead is because your girlfriend. Plain and simple. He takes a drink from his beer. Did you hear any of that, sorry?
Yeah, he pauses for a long time and says, he takes his beer as well, takes a big sip and says, for me to slip, it must mean something. I keep thinking I'm getting soft and slow, and I guess when you start to love something or someone, you become vulnerable, you know. Something I both respect and abhor at the same time.
All the people you could have fell in love with, Dean. You had to pick that one, huh?
He nods to him and gives him a serious look. Says, you know, you were wrong what you said before. You know, that she ain't just some other girl. Not this one. I do feel something. I'm not sure if it's real or what. It's different. I'm not sure if it's comparable to how you feel about your daughter. It's probably not, but I wanted to tell you something. I've always planned on helping you because I've always respected how you feel about your daughter. I've always wanted something like that. I'm gonna take most of my money, most of my share. I'm gonna put it in your account, and you're gonna take that shit and use it to help you get your daughter fixed.
And Trauma just looks at him and shakes his head. I got that covered, Dean. I got that covered. I got a great gig right now. It's taking care of all that. You keep your money. You don't owe me shit.
You can tell he feels kind of hurt by it. He's like, no, man, I don't want you to be all modest and shit about this. Just take the money. You know, I'm serious. I want you to have it.
Trauma thinks on it. You serious that you want kids? You want to have a family? That kind of shit? That's really what you want?
kind of stares off past the people. And looks into the crowd. I think so. I mean, I don't know. I want to feel something like you feel for your. And this is the closest I've ever gotten to that.
Trauma just kind of looks around and you don't want to feel how I feel. I do love my daughter, but I feel empty, Dean. Ever since that shit happened, I'm becoming less and less human every day. So here's what I want you to do. You want to help me out, then you do exactly what you say you wanna. You want to start a family? Great, start one. Protect them, make it a good one. You need fucking money to have a family, Dean. I appreciate what you want to do for my daughter, I really do. But I'm telling you, it's getting taken care of. And all that extra money you're gonna give me ain't gonna make it any quicker. So, you take that money, you invest it into you, and if you love yin, if this is your cup of tea, then go ahead. You invest it in the both of you. You make some shit work. You get a home. Set down the foundations. You need money to do that. So, you do that for me. You do deserve her to be happy. I feel like she's gonna let you down. But if you don't, that's your business. Don't worry about me. I'm dead, brother. I've been dead for a long time. I just want to make sure that my daughter grows up and has some kind of decent life before she realizes her daddy's a piece of shit. That's all I want.
He nods and he smiles and he says, "You ain't a piece of shit, man." But and he's starting to like just now realize. Where'd you get it all this money coming in? You know, is it a brother?
No, not her brother. It's big boss lady. The one that's using little Yang as a boy toy. I don't want to go in.
I understand. Well, thank you, brother. And I'll tell you right now, though, your daughter, good to have a dad like you.
She might not think so when she wakes up. If she ever finds out about the things I've done. To be honest, when I look back and I think about that day when it all happened, I fucking hated those guys. I thought they were scum of the earth. I've done so much worse shit than they have. I know what I am. You ain't gotta be nice, Dean. This is the kind of shit we do. You know my advice, though?
Nods, raises an eyebrow.
The moment that you and Crazy have enough money to get out of this for good, take it. Don't look back. Don't double think it. Get shitty, miserable, boring jobs. You be a security guard. She can be a fucking accountant or something. And just live normal. Pretend like none of this shit ever happened. Because if you think about this shit every day, if you keep doing this, you're not going to make it past 40. It just doesn't work. I know I'm not going to.
I guess you're right. I mean, we used to take on 20 guys. Look at us back there. We're getting fat and slow, perhaps.
You're getting fat and slow. I was just never that good.
He laughs. And he nods and he raises his cup up to him. And he says, well, cheers, brother. To life and to crawling out of the pit.
Trauma will raise his glass and clink it with machine and look back. So, if Crazy were to find out that you were getting dances from these strippers, how do you think she would take it?
Oh, she don't have to know about all that, you know. He smiles and he says, she knows she's the one for me. She ain't got nothing to worry about.
I hope she don't do you wrong, machine. I hope she don't.
Well, we're still gonna take down her father's empire. I guess that'll be the last thing we do, right? Well, last thing I do.
I wouldn't be trying to do it if I wasn't so deep in it. You guys should just get out while you still have a chance. Go cross country. Live in fucking Massachusetts or something.
He sits there, staring out again for a little bit, deep in thought, and says, Montana.
Yeah. Farmland wasn't bad. I miss it sometimes.
I would like to see Montana. He nods, but he says, all right then. Let's have some fun. And he takes his drink and knocks it back.
I'll watch. Strippers do nothing for me.
And Trauma and Machine sit there in the club as strippers come and go, dancers come and go. And eventually, as the night fades and dawn breaks over, the two friends part after a deep conversation. Maybe some are men's or maids, maybe some not. Machine goes back to his apartment, Trauma back to his. A couple of days pass. There is news about a gunfight out in the streets. Looks like the corpos have taken their battle out of the boardroom and onto the streets. In the meantime, Trauma, you get a message. There's a certain doctor that would like to see you in Icarus General in room 1054.
Oh yeah, he would go.
All right. You go through Icarus General, you've been through here multiple times, but now you're in the upper echelons, the rooms that are meant for the super rich, where the best of care is given. And you see your daughter she's the only one in this room. There's all sorts of medical equipment stuff that you've only read about stuff. Some of this is even experimental stuff, like most people in Icarus General do not get this. There is a lady who's on a swivel chair. She's looking at charts and readouts, and she's looking at the biomonitors that's hooked up to your daughter. She sees you come through and she kind of raises an eyebrow. May I help you?
You wanted to see me?
And she seems very confused. Are you this girl's father?
Yeah. He kind of walks in and, my name's Burton.
And she shakes your hand. I'm Dr. Bontemp. It's a pleasure to meet you, Burton. I was contacted by a certain individual. She said I should view your case. It's a very interesting one.
Not what I would call it, but I can understand from your position it would be.
Yes. I'm sorry. Those were... I'm a researcher out of a institute in Europe. Let's keep the institute unnamed for now. We do some cutting edge research. In the past 6 months, we have seen exponential increase in neurocellular regeneration, neurocellular attachments to biomechanical devices. We have been getting a lot of information from various parties across the globe. I think, and she kind of pauses, there may be a light at the end of this tunnel for your daughter, Burton. I am not sure. Her vital signs are good, they're strong. Yes, she's unresponsive, but some of the therapies that we have, some of the innovations we have made, I think we can heal her mind. Do you know what I mean, Burton?
I know a little bit about the trade medicine, but you throw around terms like neurocellular, things like that. I only know so much. But if you think you can do something for Clarissa, I mean, we've got nothing to lose. So, if you're willing to take the job.
And she kind of raises, and she pauses. Burton, it's not so simple. Her body is fine. Physically, she's fine. Her brain functions are normal, and she kind of shows you like these brainwave patterns. They're all fine. It's her mind that is traumatized. What we do, we augment the human physiology. If we start the process, I don't know where we will have to stop before she's fully healed, and I don't know if society would call her human anymore. But if everything works out, she will be Clarissa. One can be oneself. And she kind of, gestures. This is nothing but clay, Burton. Evolution has taught us to concentrate on the clay. It has never spent time on the mind. If we are successful, Clarissa will be back. Yes, she will have psychological problems because of her trauma, but then, please pardon my words, that would be typical, yes, after the incident.
Yeah, he nods. So,
Again, this is a lot of information. I'm sorry, but I believe I wanted to be upfront with you. You should have everything that I know, and so you can make a rational and sound decision.
Trauma looks around and she doesn't have much hope otherwise. I don't know if I hate to use science fiction-y terms, but if you gotta turn my daughter into some kind of cyborg or put a bunch of machines in her to let her have a normal life, whereas right now she's got no life at all, then he just kind of shakes his head. Do whatever you gotta do.
Very well. I'm gonna go back. I'll be flying out tonight. We have some more research to do, but I will put her on our list, and I will have her details, her charts, all sent back to my office in Europe, and we will start the process. We will come up with a plan. We will look at the technology we have. We will project the technology we will get. Burton, you need to realize, yes, I may sound science fiction-y. This may not happen tomorrow, but I can tell you that based on what we have been receiving so far from around the world, a year, maybe even 6 months, I think we should make some really good progress here.
And Trauma nods and he tears up a bit. He holds his hand out to shake Dr. Bontemp's hand. I haven't felt anything in a long time about this, so give it your best go, and thank you for this.
She nods. I will be in touch, Burton. I'll be in touch. And then she looks at Clarissa and you one more time. She picks up a bunch of files and folders, and then she leaves the room.
Trauma would walk kind of near the edge of where Clarissa's laying and just look at her and come up near the side of where her head rests and just kind of running his hand along her hair, and you might actually be able to do it. We're gonna get you back. You're gonna wake up. You're gonna wake up soon. And he will look at her one more time, and then wipe his eyes and leave the room.
And as you're leaving the room, something catches the corner of your eye. You don't know quite what it is. And then you whip around and you see Clarissa's lying flat on the table. And then you see her right arm lift. and it's pointing straight up to one of the monitors behind. And you take a moment. You never seen this. This is strange. And then you look at her hand. Her eyes are closed. She's perfectly still, but her hand has been lifted towards the monitor in the back. And you whip up. And the monitor, there's static. It burns in and out. The light from the monitor burns bright flashes, and it's replaced by what looks like a burning chrysalis. Contact. It's good to see you, Trauma. I've been watching you and your daughter, and I will be the help that Dr. Bontemp needs. I will be in touch. For now, you must hurry to Madame Kumiko, for she is in trouble. All will be explained soon, and there is still hope for your daughter. And with that, the monitor just wipes out, goes back to normal. And you're just standing there speechless, not sure what just happened. And in your case, the screen fades to black. And all the way across Icarus, all the way across town, Machine is in his apartment, just getting up from his hangover after the night at the strip club. And his phone chimes, and there's a message. There's a message from someone special. Groggily, he picks up the phone, looks at it. Dean, it's Chi-Chi. I can't use my phone. I'm in Kyoto. I destroyed the mask. No more drugs. No more haze. I need you. Here, please. Please don't tell Trauma. Please don't tell anyone. Come here, please. I can't do it without you. Dean, what's your reaction when you read that message?
Machine stands up immediately, kind of surprised by the message at all, and rubs his head for a minute, groggy, like unbelieving, and immediately goes to grab his stuff and check on taking a flight to Kyoto.
And as you do that, as you start grabbing your stuff, the door to your apartment explodes and a man walks through. Dean, aka Machine. I have been searching for you. You will lead me to someone I very much wish to meet. And this guy is about 6'6". He is covered in augmentations from head to toe. His eyes are augmented. There is augmentations running all around his cheek, neck. You look down at his hands, they are completely augmented. And before you can react, he has you grabbed by the scruff of your neck and lifted you a couple of inches off the floor. You will take me to her, one way or the other, Dean. And he kind of picks you up and chokeslams you onto the ground before your world goes to dark and the screen fades to black. With that, the session is brought to an end.
Who is this man?
Crazy.
What?
Whose
I was
man
like-
this is?
Like when he busted, I'm like,